Hey guys, what's up? Shadowlands back for another video. Today I'm going to be doing a review for the first time in pretty much forever, and I'm doing this because I was gifted this SIG50 for perm a while back by one of my close friends, and I really want to go and do a review on it because I believe that the meta of the game has changed a little bit, both because we've been getting new players who are lower ranked and they don't have these super high tier weapons, all these best weapons in the game, and also because different weapons are coming out and people are getting more comfortable using different things. A lot of these festive weapons that we've had are kind of, you know, they're different, they're like tweaked versions of the originals that have either faster spread recovery or faster reloads or little things like that. So I'm going to be going around and comparing this weapon to a bunch of the other older ones that we know to say, okay, which of these of the older weapons that we're all familiar with sort of stand up to the standard nowadays for competitive play. We're going to be mostly looking at the SIG50 because that's what I believe to be one of the top ones, and so I will be comparing it to some other ones. So before we go into any of that, let's dive in right here and talk about the SIG50 because that's what I'm sure most of you are here for. So the ammo capacity on this weapon is one thing that really sets it apart from others. It's a 10 out of 30, so you're getting 40 total shots, but not only that, you're getting 10 per magazine. That is extremely competitive against other sniper rifles. It is extremely nice, especially since it's a one-shot kill sniper rifle, as you'll see many times in this video. So obviously, having 10 shots in your magazine, especially if you're quick scoping, you don't have to reload as much, and if you have two different snipers with 10 shots in the magazine, that makes it even easier because then you don't have to reload almost ever. And if you can't kill someone within 20 shots or you haven't been killed within 20 shots, you probably need to go adjust your strategy a little bit, so maybe go work on that. But if that's not your case, this is a really nice thing to have. Having those 10 shots is an extremely nice thing to have. You don't need to reload as much. I still reload a lot because that's my play style, but that's something completely different. We're going to go into the actual statistics of the gun now. So we have a damage of 100. It's a very consistent one-shot kill. We'll go into damage drop-off here in just a minute. Portability of 50. That is one of the highest of these other snipers that we're going to go over in a minute. So just keep in mind, 50 portability is very, very high for this style of sniper rifle. Now, rate of fire is 16. That's pretty much par for the course for most of these sniper rifles, minus one of them. Accuracy is 100. That's actually a little higher than what we normally see. We usually see 97 through 99, and the 100 accuracy, at that point, anything above 97 just doesn't feel like it's super necessary, so I'm pretty sure you can treat all of these sniper rifles as if they're perfectly accurate, minus spread recovery, which we will get to in just a minute. We have a recoil of 55, so that doesn't really matter. It's a bolt action, but if you really care about that stat for whatever reason, it's among the lowest in the game, so you're looking at not very much recoil at all. Not to mention, with attachments, this weapon can take an additional magazine, so you can get up to, I believe, 14 shots of the +4 magazine, so that's really nice. You almost never need to reload, but to be totally honest, given that even with an L96A1 with an extended magazine, you're getting 9 shots, you're already getting 10 out of the base magazine. You're just hurting your reload speed at that rate. I really don't think you need that, and for the most part, if you're holding 2 of these sniper rifles that have 10 shots in the magazine, that's 20 potential kills right there, so even if you're going into that close quarters OMA game on Junk Flea or something, you probably don't need that, and it's more important to have the reload, because at that rate, you're reloading so fast that you're getting back 10 shots faster than you would use those other 4, feasibly anyway. So I think it's worth it to take the time to reload if you've already taken 10 shots. So that's my personal opinion, but I mean, my playstyle is not y'all's playstyle, so you guys can go do what you need to. Not to mention, you can put a suppressor on this thing, and for the most part, the suppressor does not hurt the ability to one-shot kill. This is where this gun gets kind of interesting. We're going to go back to the damage drop-off now. The damage drop-off on this thing is very, very severe at the absolute maximum ranges. It has a very far damage drop-off, so you have to shoot quite a ways, like further than Kill Creek, to start losing that. But if you're shooting diagonally across Kill Creek, like under the train or something, or you're shooting at just crazy long distances on heavy metal or something, you may actually very well see some damage drop-off. Also, this thing does tend to tank on anything that is additional armor whatsoever. If they have additional armor build whatsoever, it's probably going to tank. It usually does. Not always, and obviously headshots won't tank, but you're going to be seeing some tanking at that point. Now, recon vests and such, I don't think those even have the ability to tank this weapon. I've never seen that happen. If it has, it's news to me. Obviously, we have the recon vest tanks that happen occasionally if you shoot them in the big toe, but don't shoot them in the big toe. Aim for center mass like you were taught to. But anyway, aside from that, damage drop-off is severe, but only at extremely long ranges. So I have actually had this gun do 30 damage, which is kind of sad, but that was shooting literally from the furthest corner of Kill Creek to the other furthest corner of Kill Creek. So I don't really know how much that's going to come into play unless you're playing those crazy long maps. like Snow Valley or something. I know that map has been getting popularity recently, so it just depends on whether you like doing that for clan wars and such, if you're looking for this for a competitive, viable option, but I want to move on now. Portability of 50 is going to be compared to some other snipers in a minute. I will revisit that. Rate of fire 16, I will revisit that in a little bit here. Accuracy of 100. I did want to touch on this with regards to spread recovery. This thing's spread recovery is phenomenal. It is very good. However, it is not the absolute best. If I had to give it like a rating out of 10 for spread recovery, it's a 9. It's very, very good. It is above all of your other standard weapons. There are only 2 or 3 weapons, a handful of weapons that I would say have a faster spread recovery to this weapon. One of the ones that I would say is equal to it if you've had a chance to use it is the Snake DSR. Now, the Snake DSR has a faster spread recovery than the regular DSR subsonic, so you can't compare those two, but I'd say it's about the same as a Snake DSR, which is very fast, and it's completely competitive worthy. I'd say anything 8 or higher is competitive worthy, so 9 is totally well within that range. And we're not going to go over recoil because it's a bolt-action sniper, but I want to get into some comparisons of other older, but like what used to be the meta for sniper rifles, and for some cases still are, really. But we're going to be comparing this gun to the TRGSE, the TPG-1 Master, and the MSR. Now, the TRGSE, maybe some of you newer folks don't know about. It was an extremely strong, extremely competitive sniper rifle that was kind of the SIG50 before the SIG50. However, the SIG50 is better, and I believe it was built for the purpose of being better than the TRGSE. I'll get to that in a minute. So the TRGSE has a 10 out of 20 ammo capacity, so you're holding 10 less shots, but you still have that 10-shot magazine. It has a double zoom scope similar to the M107 series, which is very interesting, and you can tell this weapon was sort of meant to be used at longer ranges, but because of the statistics and the sort of archetype of the weapon, it was used for quick scoping a lot, and it is effective. It is a very effective weapon, but you have to get used to that double scoping, and if you're quick switching between weapons that have double scopes and don't, that can be extremely arduous. So if you're going to have 2 double scoped weapons, the TRGSE pairs well with the M107 if you're trying to camp, but I don't typically like using this weapon for close quarters combat. I don't personally have a TRGSE anymore. Back when I did my review of it, I either borrowed someone's account or I had it for a few days, but I don't currently have that weapon, so there's that. The only place that the TRGSE excels in front of the SIG50 is the rate of fire is an 18 instead of a 16, which actually does make slight of a difference. You will notice it if you play with the 2 weapons and you're quick switching between them, but if you're just using the weapon for the sake of using the weapon, consistency is how I kind of like to play, so I'll pick 2 weapons that have the same rate of fire statistic, that have the same damage statistic, have the same portability or somewhere close, so it doesn't feel like I'm like altering my playstyle every time I press the Q button. But that being said, if you care about that, then the TRGSE may be for you, but as far as I'm aware, this weapon has not been sold in a very, very long time. You can still get it out of crates, but it's extraordinarily rare, and you just do not see this weapon anymore. A lot of older players who were there for the big Black Friday sale and Christmas sale a few years ago, back in like 2012 or whatever, they may have picked up this weapon because it was sold to permanent, and it was an excellent choice to pick up, so I definitely got to give props for anyone for that. This weapon can only hold a magazine, however, so you're not going to be comparing that. It is still a damage of 100, and it's a portability of 45, which is less than the SIG50. The accuracy is 99, which is 1 point less than the SIG50, and the recoil, if you care for whatever reason, is 65, which is 10 points above the SIG50. So moving on, we now have the TPG-1 Master, which is still very much in the meta. I've seen plenty of people using it on Kill Creek. This one probably has the most killability, if you want to talk about it like that. The TRGSE and the SIG50 have about the same damage drop-off, where at longer ranges, they're going to tank a little bit more. The TRGSE has a little bit closer and worse damage drop-off than the SIG50. That's part of the reason I was saying the SIG50 is the slightly better version of the TRGSE. The TPG-1 Master, on the other hand, is a very consistent one-shot kill. However, of all these 4 sniper rifles that I will be comparing today, it has by far the worst spread recovery. It takes quite a while. While it can still be feasibly used for quick scoping, I hate using it for that. It has a magazine of 5 out of 25, so you still have 30 shots total. The SIG50 has 40. This thing only has 5 in the magazine, so it's very feasible to put on an extended magazine, which is in fact the only modification it can take. You have the damage of 100. You have a portability of 43, which is 7 points below the SIG50, and you have a rate of fire of 16, which is matched by it. The accuracy of 99 is 1 point less, but again, I don't really care about it, because honestly, anything above 97, like I said before, is kind of irrelevant. Recoil is still 65, like the TRGSE, but the SIG50 still has that 55, so if you're worried about that, then you need to go with the SIG50. Again, it's a bolt-action rifle. It shouldn't matter, but anyway, moving on from that, we finally have the MSR. Now, the MSR and the TPG-1 Master are the only 2 guns that have suppressors. The TPG-1 Master is the most consistent one-shot kill with the best damage drop-off here, but it also has the worst spread recovery. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, the MSR is a very consistent one-shot kill within the range that it's supposed to be used. Similar to the SIG50, I mean, it's going to be like, okay, it does have a really, really bad damage drop-off, but within the range that you're supposed to use it, it is extraordinarily effective. The MSR by far has the fastest spread recovery, the most consistent within range kill if you're not shooting at a tanker vest. It will, just like the SIG50, not kill anything with tanker abilities whatsoever. It very rarely will. But I think it is the best quick scoping rifle. I think it rivals the Tango. I think if you have a Tango, it's a cheaper version of the MSR without the suppressor, if you're talking about general use and how it feels. Now, the MSR is not a weapon that I recommend for long-range usage, unlike the SIG50. The SIG50 can be used at longer ranges. It has much better damage drop-off than the MSR does. However, the MSR has one thing that the SIG50 does not have. Absolutely horrible scope sway. If you watch that in scope, it's like your character is doing a 180 over time. It is absolutely stupid how much scope sway. It is completely unrealistic. If you actually thought about it, your character would have to be manually aiming the gun left and right, back and forth, if you're in scope. It is absolutely stupid. Now, the SIG50, compared to other, like, modern day, more like what are we using now in the competitive meta weapons, has quite a bit of scope sway, but if you remember back with the MSR, or you still use the MSR, you're very familiar with the term scope sway because that weapon has a ton of it. Arguably the most in the game. It's pretty bad. So the MSR is not good for long range because you will be constantly readjusting your aim, whereas the SIG50, while it's not optimal, it can still totally be used at long range, and also the MSR is going to tend to tank at long range where the SIG50 will not. Now, if we're talking ultra long range, we talked about that earlier, how it will tank, and so will the MSR, and at that point, so will the TRGSE. The TPG-1 Master is the only one out of these four that I believe can very consistently kill even at longer ranges, and at close range, possibly even kill a tanker vest in one shot. It just has a very, very consistent one-shot kill. The MSR statistics, it has an accuracy of 98, so in theory its overall accuracy is lower, but its spread recovery is lightning fast. It has a rate of fire of 15, so it goes well with the SIG50 there. If you're trying to quick switch, your rate of fire is the same. The portability is still 50 like the SIG50. Damage of 100, obviously it's a one-shot kill, and the recoil is also 55. So in terms of sheer usage, it feels like if you're quick scoping, the SIG50 and the MSR go best together. If you're camping, the SIG50 and the TPG-1 Master go best together, unless you happen to have a TRGSE, in which case it's kind of your choose and pick. I like the TRGSE for ultra long range encounters because you have those that double scope, that double zoom that's really, really useful. The TPG-1 Master and the SIG50 are nice together, but that's like, it depends on what map you're playing. If you're playing Kill Creek or Snow Valley or something, I would probably go with the TRGSE. That's my personal preference. I don't have a TRGSE, like I said, but if I'm playing any other map where there's a possibility of me running into a close range encounter, I would probably take the TPG-1 Master. That's my personal preference. So I would likely take the Master if I was going into a clan war or something, because obviously you're going to have some rushers. This is if you're going double sniper. I mean, some people do that. I had people in my clan that used to do that, so it's entirely up to you guys, but I'm going to drop the video off there, guys. As far as my overall review of the SIG50, I have to give it a solid 9 out of 10. This thing is an absolute monster, if not even higher than 9, maybe like a 9.5, but thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shadowlance, out.
Enemy down!